We'll get this party started. All right, girls, welcome to tonight's team call. We need to come up with a fun name for meshing our two teams together and what we're gonna, it's our ladies night every Monday night.
I feel like we need to play that song now.
All right, girls. So tonight we just kind of wanted to fill you in on what we've been working on, what our kind of our intentions are with combining our teams, kind of share a little bit of each of our backgrounds, I think, so that Leanne, my team could get to know you a little bit more and your team can get to know me. Mackenzie got to spend some time with me at Summit, but just so we can kind of fill each other in. And then we are going to kind of lay out what the next few weeks are going to look like. And then we're going to set some time aside to either follow up with the coaching prospects that you invited to the coaching events last week, people that you've had in conversation, or inviting to help us all move forward to Success Club for this month. Okay, cool. So Leanne, if you want to start it off, Mama, I will mute myself. I have a little standing here,
Sure.
So I'll let you start.
So I am Leanne Miser. I have been in this business since July of 2012, so 6 years. I started out as a super skeptical customer. I was not Meg's customer. My neighbors were coaches, and I was struggling to take off the baby weight and just really put me first. My background is accounting and finance, so I was in the busiest time of year for my, career with a newborn. Well, she was 5 months old. My mom passed away 12 years ago. My dad was out in California. My in-laws are 2 hours south of us. So just not a lot of help and just feeling very drained, living off of caffeine and cheese and crackers and whatever. So my neighbors got me hooked. Well, I said, I need you to help me. And I was willing to pay them to just hold me accountable. And they said, join our challenge group. And I was super skeptical about Shakeology. I said, no. I ignored them for a month and then ended up becoming a customer. And started my fitness journey, started sharing it, and just realized that their plan of coaching just didn't jive well with me. So I ended up following Janelle, met Meg, and ended up signing with Meg just as a discount coach. I never wanted to pursue this long term. I liked my corporate career. I never saw myself as a stay-at-home mom. And I got into it, and this is my prime time for this business, because I committed on October 1st to go all in, kind of on this business, to make it more of a hobby. Again, not full-time, but definitely a hobby. And hit Success Club for my first time ever in October, hit Emerald, got my first paying lead in November of 2012, earned a ticket to Summit, said I wasn't going to attend Summit. I was like, again, I'm not going to do this. Yes, I have a free ticket, but I'm not going to do it. And then January of 2012, Meg said, hey, I see you and your ability to hit diamonds. I know you can do this. I got into a group like this one. This is why I'm such a believer in these groups, where you're talking with people that are kind of at your same level, that are also pursuing this, but also have jobs. You've got other stuff going on, and we committed as a team. And if you ever hear Meg talk about it, Meg was a 2-star diamond coach, and we all joined, and she went from 2-star to 9-star. Literally, we had started working together in January, but it was in end of March, beginning of April. In a matter of about 2 to 3 weeks, she went from that 2-star to 9-star diamond coach, like that, because we all said we're in this together. So I went to my first summit. I decided to pursue that ticket because I had built these friendships in this group, and I never knew, I did not really know the people I was staying with. I just got on a plane with a girl that I met, Sam, and we stayed together in a hotel, and people think that's nuts. And it's so cool that, you know, like I've met Aaron through this and Mackenzie through this, and my whole team, the majority of my team, I don't know outside of social media. So I went to my first summit and decided, like, why not me to take this full time? My husband had lost his job, and I knew we could rely on the Beachbody income. So I ended up leaving my corporate job in 2014. So I've been doing this full time for almost 4.5 years now, but have been stuck at one star. And my biggest, I'm watching like the clock too, my biggest thing holding me back was I went into kind of management mode. And that's something that I think Corey and I are really going to focus on is you always, no matter what anybody is telling you, you have to keep recruiting because life happens. And I've had so many people in these 6 years in this business be like, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be your 6-figure earner. And then they like quit, and you can't ever, like, you're like, what, where, why am I getting this coach cancellation? And they won't respond to you and whatever. So knowing that you have this group of people to rally with you, and you will learn from our mistakes. And I'll speak for myself, but, you know, pairing with Corey, when we're at levels where you're like a 1-star diamond, you don't have a lot of people who are working it. And so us combining forces together gives you guys the ability to meet other people that are kind of on your same wavelength, that are like, hey, maybe I'm not wanting to do this full time yet because I didn't want to either, you know, like, but what if this could provide something? And then you're going to start seeing the success of other people, and it just gives us that camaraderie. So that's a little bit about me, and I'll let Corey share about herself.
Awesome. Thank you so much. There was some pieces that I didn't know. So it was interesting to hear you like on a call, actually like sit down and tell your story. That was really good. I, much like Leanne, was very skeptical when I first started a challenge group. I actually started with a burnt copy of P90X. It was actually on a hard drive. So I was really skeptical. I didn't have the money to invest. I didn't want to invest, but I wanted the change. And so I also enrolled in 2012. My husband and I started our weight loss journey in January of 2012. I enrolled to be a coach in May of that year. But for me, it was more of saving money for Shakeology at the time because I totally fell in love once I started it. Like I did it, my coach actually gave me 7 packets of Shakeology because I wouldn't even purchase that from her. And I was hooked. Like I was waking up before my alarm. I felt good. I had more energy. So I was hooked. I'm like, I have to have this, but I can't afford $130 because we were living literally paycheck to paycheck, barely making ends meet, with only 1 child at the time. So I enrolled to be a coach. I scraped money together. We really didn't have it to purchase the challenge pack, but I did it and became a coach. But I didn't start working my business until like November of 2013 because I became pregnant shortly after I enrolled. I kind of slacked off with my workouts, stupid reason, but I had this fear. My first pregnancy went so well. I had this fear that if I kept working out and if something went wrong, I would blame my workouts and then I would never go back to it. Stupid way of thinking, but it's just, that was my mindset then. You know, I wasn't really diving into PD and that's where I was at. So I kind of stepped away from everything. And I mean, I still was doing challenge groups and stuff, but I wasn't like all in. November of 13, I went all in. I too hit 1 star. I am currently a diamond, and that is solely my fault. It is my fault because I too went into management mode and lost belief in myself because I was barely holding 1 star. And then when I dropped it, I lost all belief in myself. And so I quit recruiting. I'm really good. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I am really good at hitting Success Club and bringing challengers in and helping girls get amazing freaking results. But I was really, really struggling with sharing the coaching opportunity because I didn't have belief in myself. So if I wasn't being a six-figure earner, why would somebody else join me? And maybe you feel that way too, because maybe you're not super successful in the business yet. Maybe you're just starting. Maybe you're restarting. Here's the thing, you guys. People are inspired by those who take the chance and who have the belief to do big things. It doesn't matter if you're a six-figure earner. It doesn't matter if you're where you want to be yet. The point is that you believe in yourself enough to move yourself forward and take those steps forward. Okay. So always remember that. Okay. And like Leanne said, Meg is not a 15-star diamond coach with 20 people on her team. That's the reality. Okay. That's the reality. People are going to come and go. People are going through different things in their life. And as much as you want to love, I am so guilty of this because I love our team, almost to a fault at times, because you hear, I'm all in, I'm going to show up, I'm going to be there. And so you pour and you pour and you pour and you pour. But I want you to learn from our mistakes. Okay. I want you to be able to grow. People have to meet you halfway. Okay. Your team has to meet you halfway. Okay. If they're walking, you walk with them. If they're jogging, you jog with them. If they're running, you freaking run with them and you pour all your love into that person because they are meeting you more than halfway. This is a team effort. Okay. And so because Leanne and I are at this point that we're rebuilding the belief in ourselves. We're rebuilding the mission of our team and working to gain that momentum again to make a big impact. You guys, this is about a bigger purpose, about a bigger mission than those of us just sitting right here, right? It's about being that light for people around us. So because we're at this point, we want to bring our teams together to give you girls that fire, to give you that support system, because you might feel like, well, Corey and Leanne have been in it for this long. They've already got it figured out. First of all, Meg still does it. Meg still comes to us as a leader to leader and saying, hey, like, this isn't working. What are you guys doing? You guys, she earns 7 figures a year and is a 15-star diamond coach. You don't ever have it completely figured out. Okay. So never stop growing. Never stop being willing to try new things. Okay. And keep moving yourself forward. Don't drag people with you. Okay. Don't do it. Even if you love that person, you have to bless and release, and you have to say, look, this is what I know will help you to move from point A to point B. It's just like in your nutrition and fitness. If you have a challenger that keeps saying, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to lose 20 pounds, and they never freaking show up in a challenge group, or they never push play, or they never meal prep, you can't do it for them. Okay? This is about building that belief within all of us, and all of us showing up as a team, right? To support one another, to love one another, to move forward. If we're having a hard day, to empower each other. Okay? I probably got way, way off track. I tend to do that. I'm sorry. I kind of get in like this preaching mode and I just run with it, whatever's on my heart. So I apologize. If we need more structure, then I'm going to have notes.
I was trying to take a picture and get a nice picture of you and saying Corey is preaching right now.
It's the truth though. And that's why we're doing this though, right? Is to share what our mistakes have been, where we know we misstepped. Am I a failure or is Leanne a failure because we're not where we want to be yet? No, it was a learning curve. And do you know what? That gives us a step up when you girls hit that struggle and you start to veer off path. We could say, hey, remember I told you I've done that before. Come back this way, and we can help redirect you back into the direction to help you reach your goals. Okay.
Yeah. When you guys are 1 star, we're going to say, keep recruiting. That is awesome. We are super proud of you. Keep recruiting.
Yes.
Really quick, just when you were sharing it and I had to share it, I don't know that if everybody has heard it, but I was reminded as Corey was so passionate about this. Bonnie Engel had shared that she was talking to this girl about coaching. And this girl was like, you know what, you guys, you all know Bonnie Engel, like number 2, number 3 in the company, like 15-star diamond coach. The girl responded to her and said, you know what? I am so sorry. I'm actually going to go sign up with this coach. She is an emerald coach and she is just rocking her business right now. And I really think it would be better, like, because of where she is in her business. Like, that emerald coach was just like so passionate and believed in herself clearly enough about her future abilities that she literally took a recruit away from Bonnie Engel. And like, when you're comparing, I laughed a little bit because Corey was like, I'm not a 6-figure earner yet. Like, that's my goal. And that's like my struggle too. Like, why would anybody, they don't know what the heck that means. People at the beginning, Meg always says it. She's like, people can't relate to me right now. They don't believe it's real. Like, people can relate to, hey, I just paid for our groceries this week with my Beachbody income. So have that confidence, and hopefully we can build that, all of us together, to be like, it doesn't matter what your rank is. It doesn't matter how much you're earning. Like, you have a gift, you know, with this business that somebody else just can't offer that person for whatever reason.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So should we talk game plan for October? Because we got some dates.
Yeah. So if you guys have your calendar,
I have a calendar that I can share too with the dates on it. And a little sneak peek, next week we're going to be talking about how to plan out your month. So maybe I'll just have it on the calendar so people could print it out if they wanted that as well.
Okay, cool.
So October 4th, we are having a Getting Started Right call. So you got a week and a half to be following up with coaches and adding them in. We're just going to have like a big team Getting Started Right call. So that idea of, I can't invite anybody because I don't know how to get them started, we're taking that away. We're going to do it together. It'll be a Zoom like this, and we'll have that new Getting Started Right call for those coaches on October 4th. And then on October 8th, we will have a new coach training that Corey and I are working on, and it will be a Facebook group where they're checking in, learning, but also taking action. That's another thing that we're really going to focus on in this group is action. It won't just be training. You will be implementing every single week. And then do you want to talk about the other 2 calls, Corey? Or do you want me to keep going?
No, I can. I just want to say that part of the reason that we're teaming up like this is to create those systems so it takes that pressure off of, well, I don't know how to lead my coaches because I'm just starting, or I'm just kind of resetting myself. We're working together to put those systems in place so that you can very easily get your coaches started and start duplicating, because you will be asked as you move along to become a leader in the groups and help us lead these groups so that you can slowly step in, right? Instead of feeling like you have to set up a new coach training by yourself, you have to set up all these different calls by yourself. We're going to help you get those coaches started and give them the exact steps to move their business forward. And you guys, really, if you think about it, we all tend to overthink this process, but really anything moving forward in your business requires you to be a product of the product, sharing your journey and inviting. It's really pretty simple. And hitting emerald, right? Any rank is just emerald being duplicated within the downline multiple times. So don't overcomplicate the process. So let me go back to I have to get my notes open.
I told Meg, if my team, if we all hit, and I'm sure Corey's the same way, if every coach just hit emerald or was active, we would probably be a 2-star, 3-star team. Like, it's just that emerald. That's all it is. If you just keep focusing on emerald. So that's what we're going to focus on here. Like, that's all you need to focus on. Taking 2 coaches at a time, helping those 2 people.
Yeah. Okay. So then on 10/22, our team call is going to be an emerald in 24 hours. So we'll do a push to emerald for that team call. So that's helping you, like, okay, so we have new coaches that we're going to be onboarding next week, right? And then we're going to help them start in the training and starting their own journey. And then the following week, we're going to step into helping them get to Emerald, because gaining that momentum right away helps to build that belief and confidence within yourself. Would you agree? It feels good when you hit those milestones and you start moving your business forward. So unlocking their business right away and helping them to realize, okay, I hit Emerald. Now I just have to help my coaches help Emerald and teach them how to do it. Okay. So we'll do the Emerald in 24 hours. And then on 10/24, we're going to do a what is coaching event. Don't yet know. I'm pretty sure we talked about doing a group for that one, but we haven't yet decided on if it's going to be a call or if it's going to be a group, but I'm pretty sure we're leaning towards group.
Yes.
And then did you duplicate that form that I made, or you kind of revamped it to make your own?
I just removed the questions until I have a second to like go through and redo it. But that form that you created was fantastic.
Okay.
And we're going to create, I think we're still trying to figure out, I think the one thing that's hard about groups is there's a million of them, you know, like, I don't know if Corey puts all of you guys in Meg's groups, in Janelle's groups. I try and eliminate that, but I have coaches that are like, oh, I want in on Meg's group. And then they start adding, and then you have 150 groups. And so we're trying not to inundate you guys with groups, but at the same time, create a way for us to communicate that's not just this. And again, taking action and having that accountability. So we'll have to figure that out so we can put your form in there as well as like a resource to duplicate.
Yeah. So I kind of shared it with my team, but I haven't given it to them yet because yesterday got away from me and I didn't finish the last video. But basically, I personally was struggling with having a resource to share with people who were interested in coaching if I didn't have an event that week, or putting them in a group that nobody's active anymore. Even though the units are there, it's still not as fun. And to be honest, a 3-day group or a group that has a lot of content when they don't even know what coaching really is a lot to ask of somebody to go through. So I was like, well, we got to come up with a way to share this content that everybody can share. And so basically what I did is I took the key components from the units of a group that Leanne, Brittany, Meg, Sam, and a couple other leaders had led a few weeks ago, and put it into a Google form. So you literally can share the link. You can duplicate it yourself by copying and pasting. It's super easy because the form I made has my story. You're going to want to put your story in the link that you're sharing with your potential clients and customers or coaches, because they're relating to you, right? They're having the connection with you, not with me. But the rest of the content you can very easily copy and paste, and it talks a little about income. It talks a little bit about hesitations. And then I still have to create a short, like 3 to 4 minute video that tells them exactly how they can get started. But it's this Google form that you can go through like super, super quick. I can actually probably, if you want to talk about anything else, I can really quick share it. I just have to bring it up so they kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about.
I think that's all we really had.
All right, cool.
So the only thing I'll add is like, so then November will be similar. I think it's November 1st. We'll have like our next getting started right call. And kind of just like what Corey's saying, like you don't want to throw somebody in a group that nobody's in. This was like another incentive for me. And I'm sure Corey, I'm like, I don't have a lot of new coaches. Like who am I going to do a getting started right call with, you know, or who am I going to run a whole new coaching group with? And so this just gives us all a chance to actively participate, to get into the habit of checking in and all that stuff, and really focusing on the vital behaviors, but to have like a great resource that your coaches are like, oh my gosh, I do feel like I'm part of a team.
The other thing too is like, Alicia, I know that you've been talking with your sister, like even if they're not a brand new coach, if it's just a coach that needs to get restarted, or even if you guys feel like, hey, I could kind of brush up on some things, you know, it's an opportunity for you to get in and learn and grow as well. That makes sense.
Yes. I know I have a bunch of coaches that I'm going to be adding to it that just are like, hey, I really need to get back into the groove of things. And they could just use the refresher. And it's exciting to just meet new people and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were at this level too. Or, like get going in there.
My computer is being super slow, so we can just, I don't have to show it to them. I'll
Okay.
finish it up in the next couple days and get it up for everybody.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Do we have any questions before we do a quick little invite slash follow-up session?
Conversation starter. Even if you have nobody to follow up with or invite, I just go to the active on my phone and I just start messaging people. Get those conversations going. But yeah, any questions?
No? All right. What do you want to do? Want to do 15 minutes?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. I'll set my timer, girls. I'm going to mute myself. And all right, let's go. Hey, Taryn. We are just wrapping up a quick little invite session, but we're literally going to wrap up in like 2 minutes. All right, girls. I think that's pretty close to 15. I set my timer and then I didn't hit start. I thought I did, but I didn't. I'm like, we got to be getting close. So I like looked and I'm like, oh, it still says 15. But I remember it being
You
like,
jerk.
I know.
I invited an extra person because you didn't set your timer.
Well, it was 8:58, so you may have added an extra 2 minutes, but that's not a bad thing.
It's a good thing. Oh, geez, my computer. Can you guys imagine if you just did that for 15 minutes every single day? Like, I know that the one time I did it, it was over the summer. I'm like, ooh, I don't know that I've invited like this many people in like a month, let alone 15 minutes. So, you know, if we all just did that at a bare minimum, like imagine where our businesses would be.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. So Leanne was talking a little bit about part of the thing that we're going to be really talking about and working on is implementing action and not just teaching and not just going through the motions, but actually like showing up and doing the vital behaviors and doing things. So something that we're excited to start doing with our team calls every week is either a quick little invite session like this, or if we are teaching on a certain topic, like let's say we're going to teach on Instagram or something like that, we're actually going to put some of the things that we talked about into action right away. So that way we can learn together and start doing those things right away and get it in our minds so that we're not like, oh, well, I have these tools. I'm just going to store them away in my toolbox and forget that they're there. But I learned it. I'm just not implementing it, right? I loved when we did the power hours. Yes. Power hours are super helpful. And you guys, I'll be honest with you. If we keep having good team calls and people showing up, Leanne and I have already discussed like maybe once a week having like a power hour or setting up more power invite sessions if that helps to keep everyone more accountable and showing up. But we have to have people showing up to sacrifice more time with our families and rearranging our schedules. So if you feel that that would be helpful and you girls would show up, we are totally game to helping you. Remember, if you guys meet us halfway, we are here to help you in any way that we can. We want to see you guys succeed. We want to, it's for fun, even though like we're being quiet and everybody was muted. I don't know, like I just feel like we have everybody together and you have that support when you're doing it and it makes you show up and do it. So just not on Thursday or Friday. Okay. Well, I think we talked about maybe like on a Sunday, but we would try and break it up so that you're not just showing up on Sunday and Monday. So we would have to kind of discuss that a little bit further, but we're definitely open to suggestions for what would help.
Something I'm trying with my team this week, well, for this month, but we could definitely do it like if we open up a bigger group for the joint teams, because I have a lot of coaches that aren't working it, is I have set in my calendar every single day like a 20-minute session, like Sunday through Friday. And so they're more during the day because I've learned I just don't do well with nighttime calls. But a lot of them are like lunch times so that you could like hop on. And even if you couldn't do it live, you could go back and watch it and just be typing in the people that you're inviting during that time, so that there's a 20-minute session that people can jump in at any time. So we'll see how that goes. But if it's something like that, then at least it's not every single night, and you could pick and choose, like, oh, I'm going to do these 2 or 3, and just know that, hey, there's going to be a few people joining with me. And I think it's so much easier when, like, it makes me work. If I just set myself a time, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll invite later. Like, knowing I knew I had this time, like, made me work harder during that time with you guys.
Yeah. No, agreed. And just really quick, I do want to take a picture while we're all on. But the first thing that I was thinking about when Leanne was just talking is, you guys, this business there's like a 60 to 90 day delay. So if you aren't getting yeses and people banging at your door in the first couple days, don't give up after 3 days. I see so many coaches go, okay, I did really good for 3 days and nobody's saying yes or nobody's replying. You guys, you have to be consistent, okay? You have to show up, and they have to know that you're consistent for them to trust you and to join you. So know that there is a 60 to 90 day delay in anything that you start new with this business. So if you're just starting to invite, you have to give it some time and be patient, okay?
Just keep imagining what's going to happen to your business in January if you just show up for these little, I mean, we're not asking for 5 hours a day, like just little pockets of time. All right, let's take a picture, and then our next call will be.
I want to do boomerang. Okay, so I'll say 1, 2, 3, and then on 3, do something silly. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, hold on, one more, because I moved my phone and I totally
you really like this. You're like a bobblehead.
Aren't all my boomerangs like that? I'm just like, I think every single time. Okay, let's try that again. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Like a reverse bobblehead.
All right, I am going to stop the recording.